Happy Friday afternoon, and we are doing a series of after work stories when we're feeling exhausted, but we still can be refreshed. And we had a lot of snow come down in the last couple of hours, but it looked like it stopped. But yeah, of course, it stops when I'm not walking anymore. So yeah, my jeans are drenched, but that's okay. This was an appropriate story for some time ago, and it's called the mitten tree. This beautiful blue, all these blues, look at this. And you who might say like, springtime's supposed to be coming later on in the month, but still we have snow around, at least on the roofs of cars and houses and on the top of the grass. So let's delve in. This is by Candace Christensen and illustrated by Elaine Greenstein. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, so beautiful, soothing blue. The mitten tree, and I just passed the business, and even though we're in the third month and the third day of the year already, and I passed a building, a store front. It's a daycare, child care center, and they still have their Christmas tree out. So they're like, I don't care what's the date on the calendar. They're still going to keep their green Christmas tree painted with the red ornaments. Well, this looks like the same type of tree, evergreen. So we're going to see what it's about here. And we have a dedication page, and we see a picture of a family. Let's see if you can catch any of the snow. Nope, you really can't. Yeah, most of the snow has melted. So, let's look at the snow in this book. So look at a beautiful illustration. Look like a house by itself and family. At the end of a long lane in a tidy little house, old Sarah lived alone. Her children had grown up and moved away, but Sarah still remembered the mornings when she walked with them to the blue spruce tree where they waited for the school bus. Now, each morning, she opened her shutters and watched for new children to arrive. There she is. That's beautiful that she can reminisce. So this is probably Sarah, when her kids were younger. Now, that's beautiful. Still have those memories. Oh, yeah. She's an older woman. Beautiful. Every chilly morning, Sarah pulled on her warm coat and started down the lane. As she walked past the children on her way to the mailbox, she wished they would smile or wave, but they never did. The children didn't even seem to notice her. Still, when she saw them, she couldn't help but smile. Look at the beautiful yellow coat. Yeah, she's missing her grown children. Oh, I hope she still has some peace within her, some happiness. One winter morning, after the first snow had fallen, all the children were making snowmen and throwing snowballs, all except for one little boy in a blue cap and coat. Even his boots were a dark shade of blue. He stood away from the others with his hands sunk deep in his pockets. When the school bus arrived, he lingered behind and was last in line. As Sarah watched the little boy climb into the bus, she could see one thing. He had no, what do you think? Right? They're playing and they're using their hands. What do you think he was missing? Yeah, he had no mittens. Oh, so glad I had my gloves on the walk home. So look at this. Oh, look at her beautiful living room. Her rocking chair. All that day, Sarah couldn't stop worrying about the little boy with no mittens. Late in the afternoon, just like now, as the sky grew dark, Sarah dug through the basket of yarn, scraps she had saved for many years. She found her needle and 4 shades of blue wool. Then Sarah began to knit. Isn't that precious? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, when you have a maternal instinct and a heart, it doesn't leave. Oh, look at this. Sarah worked late into the night. When the sun began to rise, she hurried to the bus stop and hung the mittens on the old blue spruce tree. From behind the hedge, Sarah watched. The little boy was the first to arrive. He saw the mittens. He reached up and tried them on. They fit. Oh, with a big smile, he made a perfect snowball and threw it high into the winter sky. Yeah, and we don't know. Maybe the boy left his mittens at home. Maybe he lost them. You never know. We're not saying that his parents, were negligent. Let's see. Soon a little girl in a red coat arrived. Her mittens didn't match. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so easy to lose garments. That night, Sarah knitted with red yarn. Every day now, as Sarah went to the mailbox, she watched for children without mittens. Then she would hurry home and knit. Early in the morning, she would hang the new mittens on the tree. The children loved the game. Each day, they would search under every branch and bough for another pair of mittens. Once or twice, Sarah thought that the boy with the blue mittens had seen her, but he always looked away. He was oblivious to the one who cared. Ah, there's Sarah. Look at all the mittens on the floor. Oh, what a heart. Night after night, Sarah knitted mittens in every color. Some had stripes, some had hearts, some had little snowflakes all over them. Somehow, even though she had never spoken to the children, Sarah felt that they had become her new family. Remember? She had 2 children before, and they were grown and gone. They had their own families. Yeah. And she had her cat. She's retired, but she was still full of love. Just look at this. On the last day before winter vacation, Sarah awakened before dawn. She took the empty basket that had once held her yarn and filled it to the brim with mittens. Out the door and down the steps she headed. When she got to the blue spruce tree, she hung mittens on every branch. What a beautiful, beautiful gesture of love. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Talking about a Christmas tree. But it wasn't. The boy with the blue mittens was the first to arrive. He stood very still and waited for the others. In fact, all the children stood very still for a few minutes, looking at the mysterious, beautiful mitten tree. And who is this here? Yeah, she's just looking at her work and looking at how everybody was in awe. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, how can we be like Sarah this weekend? When they boarded the bus, each child now wore a new pair of mittens. Sarah watched as one by one, their faces appeared in the bus windows. Still, no one looked her way as she started home. She was the mysterious giver of so much. There she is, in her yellow coat. But Sarah's heart was full. It was full as when the sounds of her own children had filled her house. Because right now, she was an empty nester. But she was so full of love. And I hope she was full of delight, knowing that she made a difference. Let's look at this. As Sarah neared her porch and climbed the steps, she saw something waiting for her. There in the corner was a basket woven with thick brown vines and decorated with a large white bow. In it were balls and balls of beautiful, colorful yarn. Uh-oh, sound like she might have been found out. I think they know. Look at this. To this day, Sarah knits mittens for all the children in her town. Wow! Every time her basket is empty, a new full one appears. Isn't that beautiful? So there's no reason to be sad if you're an empty nester. You can do something, especially with the children who are in such need today. They were talking about how across the country there's such a shortage of teachers where children have to resort to being in gym rooms and they have to look at a screen to listen to a teacher remotely because they can't fill the positions across the land. Different states have deeper needs. But oh my, I think Governor Pritzker said that they have a new program where they're going to pour $70 million to attract new teachers to put into their pension funds and to incentivize present teachers and future teachers. That's only in the state of Illinois, $70 million. Now, you might not want to become a certified teacher, but children are in need for such a time as this, especially in the city of Chicago. Volunteer, read to them, do something. They need attention and love. Oh my goodness. And so many have fallen behind as far as reading skills. And then that's what happens. They act out because they don't understand or their attention, they can only focus for maybe 7 seconds. Some of them, it's really a struggle. Oh my goodness. Let's become the Sarahs. Let's see what this says. Sarah doesn't know who the yarn is from. The children still don't know who the mittens are from. But someone must. Ha ha ha. So someone's putting the basket down and putting new yarn. Or is that Sarah picking it up? It has to be a child. We don't know. But we just know that someone is receiving love and someone is giving love. Who is placing mittens on the blue spruce tree? On a snowy day, Sarah notices that a little boy on a bus stop has no mittens, worried that he can't join in the winter fun. This is still winter. We still have a few weeks. Sarah gathers together her yarn and knits mittens for the little boy, placing them on the blue spruce tree at the bus stop early the next morning. Each day thereafter, the children look for new mittens, and every day Sarah knits new ones. One morning, she covers every branch with bright new mittens for the children. Though she has used up all her yarn, Sarah returns home with a full heart. How are we going to return with a full heart? What are we going to do to share what we have, our talents, our gifts? Because children, the world, they're hungry. And she discovers a wonderful surprise waiting on her porch. The elegant text and charming illustrations combine to make a heartwarming story that readers of all ages will enjoy for years to come. Yeah. Candace Christensen, the author, was educated at the College of St. Rose and Cornell University. She has been a teacher at the Hawthorne Valley School for 20 years and is currently the head of the fiber department at Sugar Maple's Center for Creative Arts. Good for her. And the illustrator, Elaine Greenstein, began making children's books about 15 years ago and is the author and illustrator of the popular ice cream cones for sale. She lives with her husband in Brooklyn, New York. Well, let's ask, how are we going to be like Sarah? How are we going to be like Candace, the author, or Elaine, who gives back to children of all ages, people, and remind us that we're to fill our heart with warmth and share with others. All right. Have a great evening discovering what you can do to be compassionate to those who are in need. Good night.